Hello, Algebra 2 students. Today we will be talking about the trig ratios. There are 6 main ones, but today we're going to talk about the first 3. It is such a nice day out. Let's go for a walk. It's a beautiful day, just out here on the golf course. Oh look, it's my roommate David. Hey David.
Hey, Mr. Jewell, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Wow. Did you just see that girl walk by?
No, I must have missed her.
Oh, she was the most beautiful girl I've ever seen.
Oh, there she is. Let's go find her. I think she went in the store. She's out back. Looks like they've noticed her too. Hello. It is me, the most beautiful woman in the world. What's my name? Oh, my name is, it's very long. It's sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent equals opposite over adjacent. It's very long to remember. I'll never forgive my parents for naming me this long name. My friends, they call me Sokatoa. Don't forget that. Sokatoa. It is very nice to meet you, Sokatoa. I really hope that I get to learn everything about you in the future. All right, class, after hours of research, I feel like I finally understand and know Sokatoa. Let me share with you what I have learned. All right, to start with our trig ratios, we have to start with a right triangle. I'm going to label one of the angles in this right triangle as theta. It's a Greek letter theta. Now, there are 3 sides on a triangle. This is the hypotenuse, this is the height, and this is the base. Now, the name of the hypotenuse stays the same. It's always the longest side on a right triangle. Now, the names of these we're just going to change, and we're going to change them in relation to where this theta is. So this side right here is very close to this theta. We're going to call this side the adjacent side. And this side here is very far away from theta. So we're going to call this side the opposite side. Now, the trig ratios are nothing more complicated than just some of these ratios compared to each other. So let's look at the first ratio that we tend to learn about. It is called sine. It is spelled S-I-N-E, but usually mathematicians just write S-I-N. And we say sine of theta. So theta is equal to this side, the opposite, divided by the hypotenuse. All right, so that's one of our trig ratios. Let's now look at the cosine, which we write as COS. Cosine of theta is equal to the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. So we've compared in a ratio the opposite with the hypotenuse and the adjacent with the hypotenuse. The only other comparison we can make really is the opposite to the adjacent. And that is what we call tangent of theta, which is opposite divided by adjacent. So an easy way to remember these is to make a simple acronym or whatever those are called. So we have sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm going to write that as so. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. I'm going to write that as ca, C-A-H. And tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to write that as T-O-A. And there we go. SOHCAHTOA. It's an easy way to remember your 3 basic trig ratios. So let's look at a quick example. We have a 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triple right here. So what is the sine of theta, the cosine of theta, and the tangent of theta? So the sine, if we remember our SOHCAHTOA, sine is the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. Opposite being 4, hypotenuse being 5. Cosine is the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is 3 over 5. And tangent is the opposite over the adjacent, which is 4 over 3. All right, class, hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope you learned something from it. I hope you laughed or didn't. I'm just trying to make them fun to, get us through this time away from each other. I will upload a couple of these every week, and there will be Delta Maths for you to complete. If you have any questions, please just email me or message me on Cougar Campus. All right, thank you. Hope to see you soon.